Hello there, so welcome to Let's Code. Today is the first day of our JavaScript series. Today we are going to install the various tools that is going to help us write and then execute JavaScript code. So the JavaScript programming language has actually evolved. Initially it was made for the browsers to make browsers interactive, but then Node.js came along to make it possible to run JavaScript outside of the browsers. So I don't think using the traditional way, that is learning through the browsers, is the best way now. So we will stick with Node.js. We are going to write and execute JavaScript code outside of the browsers. Okay, so the first tool that we are going to install, which is going to help us execute JavaScript code outside of the browser, is Node.js. So let's head on to google.com. So any browser that you have, just open it and go to google.com. So I am going to use Brave, but feel free to use any browser that you want. Okay, so I already opened the site, but you go to google.com and type in Node.js. So when the search results are in, all you have to do is to locate the site with https nodejs.org and then click on it. That is their official site. So you can see my operating system was automatically detected over here, and then there are two versions, the current and then the LTS version. The LTS is basically long-term support, and then the current one is the new version they actually released. But I'll stick with the long-term support, because with the long-term support, just as it goes long-term support, and then it is more stable, and then there are less bugs in there. So we stick with the long-term support. So just hit on it and press save, and it will save for you. You can see I've already downloaded it over here. So I'll press cancel. But after yours is done, all you have to do is to head on to where the setup file is, and then double tap on it. Okay, so you hit next, you accept licenses and agreement, hit next, you hit next, you hit next, you hit next, and you hit on install. Press yes for any security pop-up that comes up. Okay, so it will be due in no time. Actually, Node.js was built using the Google Chrome V8 engine. So let's hit on finish, and then we are done installing. But now we are going to check if actually it really installed properly on our system. So what we are going to do is to open the command prompt. So hit the Windows key plus R and type in cmd and hit enter. I've customized my cmd a little, that's why you can see it this way. But type in node-v. That is basically telling the computer what is the version of Node. On my system, if Node was actually installed, you should see the version over here. If you don't see this version and you see any other thing, it means it did not install. So you go back to the video and reinstall it again, then come and run the command. If it picks, then that's it. You have actually got Node.js installed. Okay, so the second tool we are going to install is Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is an IDE, which is Integrated Development Environment. It's just like Word. Now you type words in there. That's the same thing that, let's say it's equivalent. So we are going to type our code actually in VS Code. There are various IDEs, but we are choosing to stick with VS Code. Okay, so head on to your browser. I'm using Brave, but you can go with any browser that you want, and then go to google.com. Okay, and then type in VS Code, download. So we come a bit now, and you see the address of https://code.visualstudiocode.com. Just hit on it, and when it opens, you see it picked my operating system automatically. So if you're on Mac, it will pick yours automatically. If you're on Linux, it will pick yours automatically. So you just hit on the download, and then the download will start. So all you have to do is to press the save to download it. Okay, so as it is downloading, you see there are various IDEs that you can use. So let's go to Google and search some of them. Okay, so when you come here, you see we have Eclipse, we have PyCharm, we have Atom, we have NetBeans. There are more. Cloud9. Okay, there are various IDEs. We have Sublime and the rest. But then we are sticking with Visual Studio Code because there are some features in Visual Studio Code that I actually prefer. One, it has IntelliSense, which can detect errors and then can easily help you finish your code that you type in. And then it has emit. That is when you use abbreviations, then it will generate boilerplate code for you easily. So those are some of the reasons why I use VS Code. Okay, so when it is done installing, head on to where the download file is, then double tap. Okay, my machine is a little bit slow just because I've got a lot of installs on it, but alright, it's next. And then make sure these two things are on. Register code as an editor, then add path. Make sure those two things are on and hit install. Okay, so when it is done downloading and then it opens up, you should see something like this for your first time. You can just close the getting started. So over here you can see the Explorer, and this is where you see your open project. This is where you see the folders and files when you are coding a project or something, and then this is where you search for files and a particular code. And this two, let's ignore it for now because you're not really going to need it. And then this is the extension part, and this is where you can install various themes and various plugins to help easify your life. So I have already installed the IUDAC theme over here, so I'm going to change mine to the IUDAC. So I just change it to the IUDAC from here, or you can go to the file, can go to preferences, and then can go to color theme, then pick any theme that you want. If you want, just press on browse additional themes, and then there will be more themes for you to download and then install.